I went live without. Oh, dude, we are all human, man. Some are just better than others. Oh man, it's like learn from your mistakes. Learn from your mistake, and then we make the same mistake. Um, Crap, man. There's a song that says it goes running and you're running and you're running away, but you can't run away from yourself, right? You can't run away from yourself, and that is the truth. Holy cow, man! If you got bad habits, dude, no matter where you go, it's going with you. And I'm trying to break mine, man. I'm trying to get neater. I'm trying to get a neater workbench. I got to change mindsets and all that stuff, but it's on me, you know. It's on me. That's me to do. But recognizing is at least the first stage. You know, you got to recognize. You got to, you know, what did it do with the alcohol thing? You got to recognize you got a problem. Okay. You got to recognize you got a problem, man. For some people, I mean, it's not a big deal, right? But when you're trying to be as productive as you possibly can, not being organized and making mistakes is not a good thing. Holy cow, look at this. Spam call again. Damn, these guys they just keep calling, man. If it's not tax, the tax was the tolls. Holy cow. All right, let me make sure my AC is on. Let's get started. I got an oldie here. I got an oldie machine to show you guys. Okay. You know, there's some guys that we buy. You know, it's funny. Back in the days, right, when you bought those machines, and they were a little expensive for some people, and you know, you can call them. I mean, you got the Electroluxes, you got the Filter Queens, the Rainbows, and all that stuff. TriStars. I mean, you can say that they're too expensive, or they were overpriced, and you know, given that there's a sales incentive, and I think they do that with insurance now. Even like there's like websites that the insurance company, they will cut out the not the insurance company, but whatever the site is, they will cut out the agent, because a lot of the commission goes to the agent. Well, I get it, and I have no problem with that. You know, it's not like, excuse me a second, it's not you're being taken advantage of. It's like those guys who, let's say there's a service to get, you know, what do they call that service for the H1 visa guys, H1B, whatever, and there are agencies that connect the companies here, and they'll do the search to find the people over there, right? And the pitch was, well, these guys are being taken advantage of, and the money and all this other stuff. And it's like, okay, it's possible that some guys are not being paid as good as others. It's possible some people's negotiation skills are not quite there. They don't know, so you know, they don't know that they're being charged a lot of money for whatever it is. But that service is a service. You know what I mean? It's a service. So the sales rep, they're doing their job, and yes, there is commissions involved. Selling a car, there's commissions involved. Selling homes, there's a commission involved. Stocks, if you have a, you know, depends on the kind of broker system you have, there's a commission involved, and that's why the system that says, hey, no commission fees, are so attractive to people, right? But it's not about being taken advantage of. Being taken advantage of is being taken advantage of, period. Meaning that you're not getting what you bargained for. Therefore, you're being taken advantage of, right? But if you're getting it, and let's say the guy down the road, he charged less than the guy over here, it's not that the guy down the road is taking advantage of you. It's just that that's his price marker. And if he notices that he's losing a lot of business to the guy up the road there, he's going to change his price. He's going to have to stay in competition. That's just the way the market is. So try not to do that just because something is being sold that But you also have to know when you're being sold. You gotta watch out for the close. So at least you know when a close is happening. You can make a decision whether or not you're gonna buy it. Okay, so that's my attitude about that stuff, and it's the same attitude I have when it comes to information. You know, like yesterday I was talking about filters and everything, and that you have to filter stuff that comes in, just like a vacuum. You know, and I know my analogies are cheesy, guys. Whoever watches my stuff, that's what you're getting. Okay, it's okay. You know, but I'm using it. It's still a good thing. I'm doing a good thing. I think. One day someone would hear the channel, they'll watch it, they'll either learn how to fix a vacuum, or they'll say, hey man, I walked away with something cool, and it was a blessing. So I just hope that it reaches the right people and stuff like that. So, you know, but anyway, back to this here. So you spent a lot of money for some of these vacuums, and then 30 years later, them things are still running. So it's like, you know what? It wasn't a loss, man. It wasn't a loss. Don't feel like you were, you know, it wasn't a loss. All right. Yes, can we improve our negotiation skills? Yes. Are all these things negotiable? A lot of them, especially direct sales. Everything in direct sales is negotiable. Keep that in mind. Anything that's direct sales. Anyone knock on your door, the guy on the roof guy, the lawn guy, anyone that is seeking out your business, the power is in your hands. I'll tell you, how's that? I'll tell you that. The power is in your hands. Anyone that's seeking out your business, you have the power as the consumer, okay? You may not feel like you have the power when you're going to a department store and they say that's the price, and if you don't have a coupon or if you don't have the deal, then you just have to pay what it is. But if someone is selling you, if they're coming for you, then you have the power, okay? Because they want your business, and they're competing with other guys. That's why they figured that, and it's not a bad thing, just keep that in mind, but they figured that their business strategy is, we have to go get the business. We have to go get it. This is not the kind of business that people are gonna come to us because of the price, the complexity of the equipment we're selling or the product, or it's not a product that is a consumable product where people just buy because I feel good today. You have to create a need. So now that they sought you out, they want to create a need. Now they want to sell it to you. Power's in your hands. So just remember that, okay? You just don't know. You don't know how far you can go. You don't know how much you can get off. And then you feel like you've been taken advantage of because somebody got more than you, discount, right? Like the sale guy down the road. Maybe he sold one house, or the company, whoever, they sold it to this guy, and they got, they got $200 off. And another guy got $600 off. And you're like, hell, you took advantage of me. So no, man, that guy he just had a better negotiation technique. He just knew to squeeze these guys just a little bit tighter. Oh shit! We used to have this thing, right? I think it was in Canal Street. We used to go to Canal Street in New York, and the guys were selling stuff on the street, whatever. Or Chinatown, I think it was one of the two. I think it was Chinatown. And you just tell the guy, man, I'm out of here, man. I don't want to buy your stuff. Get out of here. And you turn around and you start walking away. The guy, now he knows he's losing business, and he's like, okay, wait, come. Come on, man. Look, $10. That's the game, bro. and because we don't know that's the game, and that game is for everything, we forget that that's the game. Unless you're around people that tell you that's the game. That is the game. That's the game, man. I laugh at some guys who don't bend at all. I'm like, serious? You're gonna lose 10 grand because you don't want to give up $100, bro? You really? All right, bet you do that. This lady's asking for $100. You don't want to give her. You're gonna lose $10,000. She's gonna get up out the seat and walk out the door. Okay. All right. Maybe it works for you. Maybe that's the way it goes. I don't know. Maybe your markup is maybe your markup is that tight. You know, it could be that too. But nah, man. I saw this interview. Let me pull this guy up. I'm trying to get my stuff together, but let me show you what I got. I got a Hoover Concept. Nope, sorry, Wind Tunnel Supreme. Basic old school style vacuum. All right. The only difference is they add something here which I think it's a sales feature, but I don't believe in these things. All right. And I'm going to tell you why I don't believe in them, but it is part of the clothes. It is part of what convinces you to buy. Okay. And it's not that how's this? It's not that it's false advertisement. It's that it's not what you think it is. How's that? So it's not necessarily false. It's just not what you think it is. Okay? How's that? How's that? It's not what you think it is. Okay? I think someone want to say what's up, man. Let me log in properly. Let me get all my stuff, man, guys. So I'm still kind of putting myself together here. All right, because I didn't want to delay any longer, so I just had to kind of get started. And while I was setting up the camera, my finger hit the button to go live. So if you just came on, if you went to the very beginning, you'll see a picture of me like this. Because I'm looking at the camera, I'm like, oh shoot. Oh man. All right, so we're gonna cover some community notes. I want to see what if anyone had any questions, so we will go over that. And then I want to log into the live stream itself so I can see the comments. And then we'll inspect this machine here, guys, and see what's going on. All right. Okay. So you want to give me a time? All right. So you can. Well, take your time. You know, whenever you're ready, you can load up. It's not like I'm in a rush. Just take your time. You know, it's okay. Let's plug this in the meantime while this computer takes a yawn, get some coffee. You know what I'm saying? What are you doing, man? Can you log in already? Damn. Golly. All right, let me plug it in. All right. Yeah, let me see who's that. It's a game. Yeah, it is. It is a game. 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 And you know what's funny about it? Unfortunately, right? When it becomes survival, when it's only survival, right? When it's only survival, you tend not to. I'm not sure what to call it, right? It's fight or flight or something like that. So there's no room for enterprise thinking because it's all survival. You know what I mean? But it can turn. It can turn because if you're that motivated, survival will bring. The instinct kicks in and you start thinking of things because you need it that bad. You need it like you need air, like you need air to breathe. You need it that bad, so you become very, you just have to be very careful that your moral system is not broken to where you now start taking advantage of people, because then that will catch up with you. That's just what it is. It'll catch up with you, right? And it's not necessarily that everything you do that there's a payback. It's just that you tend to be careless, right? And it'll eventually catches up. It's not, I don't want to say like karma or like, God's gonna punish you or something like that. I'm not, I'm not I'm not the authority on that stuff. But I just know the tendency is, if you're not legit, it'll catch up, man. That's just what I've seen in the past, and you just have to be prepared to take the hit if you're prepared to dish it out, because the hit's coming. You know what I'm saying? So, but survival will. Oh, what the hell was that? Let me turn this off. I just plugged it in. Here's the audio. Oh, here's the audio. Shit. I should have looked for this before I plugged it in. All right. Now let me all right, so now that I heard this sound, you guys all heard the sound, right? Let me do this. So if you hear a sound like this, you plug your vacuum in, your shampooer in, and you hear like, you don't know where the sound's coming from. You just know it's coming from the machine, right? The first thing you want to do is disengage your brush. Okay, so let's start there. All right, so let's do that. All right, let me tilt this down a little bit. Nope, this way. Here we go. Beautiful. All right, let's join the live real quick so I can say what's up to anyone who is there. All right. Okay. Let's see what we got. Hey, what's going on? Is this live? Yes, it is. If you have a question about vacuums, shampoers, or even anything we happen to be talking about, it's live. I'll try to answer it. And keep it positive. Just keep everything positive in this little room here, in this universe that I've created, and you guys are joining me. I appreciate it. Okay. Have their own game. Hey, what's up, zombie? Just like I said, just keep it positive, and I'll do what I can to answer the questions. Let's go through this, right? Okay. So yeah, like sometime in the middle, I'll show you the video, or at least maybe you'll hear the video of when I heard a close, and I don't know if I would have paid attention a couple of years back. No, I probably would have, but it was a close, man, and it was so subtle, and I don't know if the person was doing it on purpose as a closer or if he was just so sold on his thing. But I heard it and I was like, holy shit, dude, I saw what you're doing. And I respect the clothes. I just don't have to buy it. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to buy it, but that's your hustle, your closing. I just don't have to buy it, right? And if I'm not buying your pitch, and if I'm not buying your worldview or whatever it is, we don't have to be mad at each other, man. You just move on and try to sell the next person. You know what I mean? And you don't have to be you don't have to be mad at the salesperson either, all right? Or whoever's pitching it to you, the professor, the politician. It's just like, all right, I heard it. I'm just not buying. Not today. Not today. I don't know. All right, let's do this. All right. Yeah, I think sharks. Look, I keep saying it on the channel, man. I'll tie it in also to what I'm doing. I was not convinced that Shark was a good vacuum when I first saw Shark come out, because they came out right after Dyson, right? And it seemed like they were just copying Dyson. And we weren't sold on Dyson either, right? Because, we were selling heavy duty vacuum. This thing can do everything, when you're in a sales company, you're pretty much sold on pitching your product and everything else sucks. It's the way it is, okay? You're America, I'm American, every place else sucks. That kind of attitude, right? It's just a team thing, right? You're down with the Giants, you're down with the Steelers, you're down with oh shit, what was that game that I watched the other day? I was watching pieces of it back and forth. I think it was the, oh my God, was it the Titans? The Titans, and who were they playing? And these guys won. Holy cow. But when you're and they're not my team. They're the team for the business next door. He had Titans all over, and they came back, bro. They came back. I thought they were gonna lose. I'll be honest with you. And but when you're a team person, the other team sucked. That's it. You know. So we thought Shark sucked, and we're like, man, Shark sucked. But then I've grown to respect the company, man. I was like, you guys, all right, you guys got a long game here. You're doing the thing. Go for it. I just got a damn text the other day. Shark makeup or beauty products. I'm like, you guys are doing beauty products now? Okay. All right. Unless it's a different company. Hold on. Let me see something. Give me a second. Hold on. I got it right here. Unless it's a different company that's going under the same name. I think it's Shark. Look at this, Shark Glow something. You know, man, it's you can't see it too well, but Shark Glow, Facial Pro Glow. I was like, that's all right, Shark. Who say you got to only do vacuums? Shark is like, Shark's like, are you convinced yet? Do you believe in us yet? He's like, yes, we do. We believe in you. Great. How about this? This is our new product. If you're sold that we can make vacuums, let's try this. Are you? All right, let's see what we got. Who's in here? Who's saying what's up? Shark. You know what? Chiefs. Okay. Thank you. And tell me you weren't surprised that they won. I mean, they were getting their ass kicked in the beginning of the damn thing. And I even text my friend, man. I said, dude, man, you made me, I was just playing with him. I said, man, you made me lose money. Team. and then I have to say, man, I take it back. Oh, man. Bad thing about Shark, though, is it's impossible to get. Yes, it is a bad thing. And to get replacement parts and all that stuff is bad, belts and everything else. I gotta use Hoover belts, you know, to match up with a Shark. It's crazy that they did it like this, and it seemed to be working for them. But other guys are just like Shark copied, in my opinion, anyway, copied Dyson's model, and just about every vacuum company, except the old school guys, like, you know. Because they're branded as Kirby, they're branded as Rainbow. You know, they're not gonna just. I don't think they're gonna just try to copy Dyson's bagless technique type thing. But everyone follows suit, right? I think Bissell follows suit now with Shark, because Shark, you have to mail it back to them. Bissell now start doing the same thing. You know, well, you know, if you got to mail it back to us, or you got to cut the cord, or you know, whatever it is now. But they don't have any local shops anymore. But Bissell is still up on them because you can still get replacement parts for Bissell and Hoover and, you know, the other guys. Shark, man, it's like a scavenger hunt. So it's what it is. All right, so let me take this out of here. Let's see where the sound is coming from. And I'll peek over once in a while and see who's saying what's up. Okay? All right, so now, when you hear a sound in your vacuum, you go back to the basics, right? The basics, what you have is a motor, right? You have your on and off switch, you have your cord, you have the brush, right? All those guys are working. Everything else is collecting. Everything else is body, you know, everything else is like decorations and compartments or whatever. But the working things, the stuff that's actually working, is your electricity with your cord, on and off switch, micro switch, motor, brush, belt, right? Those guys are moving, working, things are happening, right? And if anything is interrupted in that process, all you have to do now is say, okay, what's happening? Noise? Okay, great. What are the two things in my vacuum that makes noise? My three things: my brush, my motor. Okay, brush roll, motor. Those are moving possible things that will make noise. Okay, let's try. So the one thing I can easily remove is the brush. Okay, so I'm going to remove the brush in the belt. And now let's turn this thing back on again and see if the noise continues. Oh, fan. Well, the motor is part of the fan, but you know what I mean. All right. Okay. Let's turn it on again. Henry vacuum. Oh yeah. Oh. Okay. Yeah. Well, is that the canister? Is that the canister vacuum? That's the Henry vacuum, the canister? I believe so, right? With the eyes on it and things like that. I sold a few of those online. I've never bought one into the store. It was always like a drop ship type deal. I don't think they allow that anymore. Yeah, we received a notice that they don't support internet sales. At least I think so. So you have to forgive me if my information is wrong on that one. All right, here we go. Let me plug it in. Let me plug it in, and let's see if we hear this noise again. Yeah. That's our motor, all right. That's our motor, all right, guys. But that's what you would do. That's the steps, okay, guys? If you have a vacuum, you have a shampooer. Oh my God, I was supposed to answer a question for someone. Look at that. I totally forgot. And you know what? This was the perfect segue for that question. And I can help you guys also with that. Look at that. Things just work out the way they're supposed to. Isn't that cool? This was the perfect segue for that. All right. Let me pull up the question then. Okay. Let me pull up the question. I'm going to use this, what just happened here, as a kind of lead into that question. Okay. It was about the Bissell Revolution. But this was great. That's how things work. So let me slide the revolution over here, and I'm gonna pull up this question because I was supposed to answer it yesterday. Yeah, that's what it sounds like. But yeah, I'm hoping that's what it is, because a fan blade would sound worse, right? A fan blade would sound like it's about to tear the whole thing apart. So it's a possibility that is that. I would lean there first towards the brushes, the carbon brushes. But then I'm also keeping in the back of my mind that it may be the fan blade, because really, if you look at it, it's really those two things, right? When it comes to the motor, unless the armature is just kind of really wobbling and really just messed up or something like that. Bearings is another thing, but it doesn't sound like bearings. So your instinct is correct, okay, on that one. All right, so eventually we're going to open this up and kind of take a peek and look at the motor and examine it and see what we're looking at, okay? But I do want to answer this question because I said I was going to do it, and I missed it yesterday. All right, so bear with me, guys. All right, so it's about a Bissell Revolution. I'm going to take this off of here right now for a second. Okay, it's about a Bissell Revolution, and I want to respect this individual by responding to them. Okay, this is let me pull it up. Because let me get this. Okay, so this is what they said. Okay, it says fix the belt burning due to the problem. The machine works fine. Okay, no, this person's machine was fixed the right one. Thanks, my wife. Pull hard cord. Okay, great, did that. So glad I found your video, quite the same. My main drive pad, here it is. This is the one, okay? So I'm so glad I found the video. Let me see if I can turn it for you guys. I'm not sure if you'll see it as good as I'm looking at it, but I'm gonna turn this up so you can see what I'm looking at here. I can't zoom it in right now, but at least you can see, you can have an idea, right? All right, so I'm glad I found your video, but I'm not sure if my issue is quite the same. My main drive belt keeps snapping due to the heat and friction from the motor output shaft. All right, I'm able to spin the shaft. You're working on in this video freely by hand, so it's not seized or anything like that, what other issue have you seen that would cause the belt to break after a short period of time? Okay, so if we're talking about abyssal revolution, right? I'm trying. Down is up and up is down. So I sometimes I. So if we're talking about abyssal revolution, let me get one. It's just for visual, but I'll do my best to explain it through. Okay. Un momento. Give me a second. Let's see. Okay. Let me do my best to explain this through, okay? Let me see. I think I should be able to get this off real quick. Okay. No, not really. I probably don't even have to take this apart. I can explain it with this. Okay? Yes, you know what? Let me pop this out. You put a little flathead in the back. You know what? I still need to take these off because I don't think I put the I'm just gonna lean this up against this. Okay. I don't think I put the all the screws back in properly. I was rushing when I did this, and that's why I have it in the back and not in the front here. All right, and let's lay this down so I can take this off properly. Comes right out. Okay, so now what he's asking about is the shaft right here. Do I have my sample shaft hanging around here? Do I have it hanging around here? Do I? Okay, no, I don't. All right, so I'll lift this up so you can see the shaft. All right, so here we go. So you have the belt. What he's talking about was this. This is getting hot, he says, and is breaking his belt. And then this is the jack shaft here that connects to the pump, this little orange ball. And then the end of the orange ball has a gear that connects to the brush roll. Okay. So what I think is happening, and this is Nicholas, right? Yep. So Nicholas, what I think is happening, it's possible that your brushes are causing a problem. Okay? Unless your machine, I don't know, maybe you dropped it, maybe you took the motor out, maybe you took a hammer to the machine and started hitting the damn shaft or something. Unless the shaft is warped in any way, okay, you shouldn't have the excessive heat coming from the motor. I mean, unless the motor is overheating and maybe something is causing it to overheat, but you will probably be smelling that. Okay, so let's assume the motor is okay, right? If the motor is okay, the next step is you said you check the shaft and you roll the ball and the ball rolled freely, right? So then, okay, so that's fine. What else is the shaft connected to that can give the shaft resistance? The brushes. See that? So check your brush rolls, check the ends of the brush to make sure that they're not melted, they're not hard to turn. Because if they have resistance, it's going to restrict the shaft from turning. And then it's going to also, and then what's the weakest link? Okay, what's the weakest link? Your motor is standing strong. I mean, it's in this little cubby and it's not moving, and you know, all this, it just spinning the shaft around, right? That's all. That's its only job, right? And to generate the suction with the fan. So the motor is just doing this, right? So he's not gonna budge, right? Then you have this rubber belt in the middle of the motor and the shaft, and then you have the brush connected to your shaft. Where is the weakest link? The belt. Okay, so something is causing resistance. If the motor is turning, it's probably not the motor. Because if the motor gives you resistance, it's not turning. It'll probably trip your breaker. Okay? So I hope that explains it without me going, like, you know, sometimes I can go all over the place, man. But just bear with me. The guys who come here often, they know that I'll run out to the park and then I'll come right back. You're like, wait, where you going? I gotta go to the park and give you an example and come back. Let me bring my example back here. So that's how I communicate. So just bear with me. So So that's what I think. I think, Nicholas, I think you should check your brushes and make sure the brushes are running freely. Make sure there's no melted plastic or anything that will stop that brush from being a free-flowing brush. And then, because the last thing I'll say on that is the shaft is connected to the pump. The pump is not likely to stop the shaft and the belt. I mean, and the So it's not the pump. I'm 99% sure the pump wouldn't cause a restriction. Okay? If anything, the jack shaft will mess up the pump. If you get what I'm saying. It's a much stronger thing than the pump. Okay? So hopefully that helped. All right? Now, to go back to the same example with the Hoover, is if, let's say, this is making a lot of noise. All right? Do the same test. Take your belt off. Okay? All right? Because with the Bissell Revolution, the brush doesn't stop if you put it in the upright position like a Shark or Dyson. All right? They have micro switches. This doesn't have one of those. The belt, at the best that the machine would do is lift the brush off the floor when it's in the upright position, but it wouldn't stop it from spinning. So you would have to take the belt off, and you don't have to even do much, man. Just take off the panel like you saw I did there, right? Okay, get a screwdriver. Okay, get a screwdriver, and just peel your belt off. Just peel it off real quick, off the side. Okay, let me show you. Just like this. Now the belt is off. Okay? And then you just run the machine and see if the sound is gone. And then if the sound's gone, then you know that the belt is the problem. If the sound is still there, then there's the motor. That's really what it is. All right, let's see what somebody have to say before I continue. Okay? Hey, David, what's up, dude? Man, we're doing well, David. I hope yours is doing well too, bro. Okay. Yeah, I hope yours is doing well, man. Howdy. Banks, please. All right, cool name. Yo, hey, what's up, Tom? Oh man. That's what's up. What's good? What's good? You know what? You want to you ever ask somebody, hey man, how's it going? And then they start telling you about everything. And you were like, I was just trying to say what's up, man. I didn't really like a half hour later, man. I mean, I didn't mean like what happened all of last month, bro. I was saying what's up. So I don't know if you want to hear what's good, or if you're just saying what's up. There's a lot good, man. I got a lot good going on, bro. Even with the bad. It's all attitude, man. Because you got to deal with it anyway. So I might as well deal with it with a positive attitude, because that's the only way I can stay creative enough to come up with a solution to the situation. That's why I say stuff like, being positive. It's not about being, loopy Pollyanna type stuff. It's not, everything is great. We're just positive. Everybody's happy here. Nothing is it's practical. How's that? Me being positive is a very practical thing, because something happened to me. Something happened to you. I have two ways I can handle this. Okay? I can handle it with worry, depression, woe is me. And that frame of mind will not solve the problem. Okay? That particular frame of mind will dig me deeper in a hole. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to have to find a way out of this thing. And the only way I can find a way out of this thing is to be free of depression, guilt, condemnation, and all the other bullshit. I just have to okay, man, I got to find a way out, man. Okay? All right. Man, this is going to work out. It's going to work out, man. And then with that attitude, my mind is free to come up with solutions a lot faster than if I was like, man, damn, bro, this sucks, bro. I don't know Oh my God, I can't believe this is happening to me. All those words do not have anything that has to do with a solution in them. I can't believe this is happening to me. Oh my God, this is not fair. Oh my God, bro. None of those things have solutions at the end of them. So be positive. That's the idea. All right? Okay. Let's see what's up with this motor, man. Let's go inside. Okay? All right? And some guys think that you're cold for not harping on issues. You know? Not constantly blaming the history of America and all this stuff for the ailments. And it's like, dude, man, what is that going to do, bro? You need to get working. What state of mind does it put you in? What state of mind does it put you in? If it puts you in an optimistic, problem-solving, let's get it done state of mind, I'm down with it. But if it's gonna put me in a damn grave mentally, okay, man, all right, I gave it 2 minutes. I cannot give it an entire year. I can't give it a whole damn generation, bro. I am not gonna carry this on my back like that. I have to find a way out, man. I find a solution. That's the attitude. You know? So guys are, man, that's not as cold, man. Come you think about it. We need to talk about it more. I said, nah, man, we talked about it enough, bro. We talked about it enough, man. It's time to do something. Let's get some work done. Let's fix this damn thing. Can you imagine David's at his shop, right? And they gotta get work done. And they spend the whole day just talking about the work. And talking about how bad it is. And the whole day, it's like, oh man, we have to discuss it. We have to talk about the work. We have to talk about, what the customer did. And I can't believe it. We fixed it for her last year. And then, man, she's abusing this thing. And my God, and man, and she never want to pay. And she don't want to pay the right amount. And It's okay, fine. All right, great. When are we going to get to fixing the car? When are we going to start fixing the car? Right? Guys are like, yeah, Wayne, when are you going to get to opening the damn motor? Hey, Wayne, what's up, Wayne? When are you going to get to the motor? Shut up. All right. Oh, man. All right, let me take this out. Look like I can't move this without this. I was just working on a Kenmore, man. The one, if you're a collector, vacuum collector, the brittle cleaners is something to look out for. When they're brittle, holy cow, man. I was working with a Kenmore and the thing fell apart in my hands. It just crumbled like the littlest squeeze. The plastic just, holy shite. And the customer brought it to me and I'm breaking the shit out of it. Oh my God, what the hell? I just grabbed the thing and it crack. I was like, oh shit. Oh shit. Oh my God. The whole thing crumbled. I should have said no. I was like, damn, I should have said no. I can't believe this. I gotta go. I better be able to find this damn part. Benny. That's your favorite type of hooer? You have 3 of those? Ah, yes. Awesome, man. 1971. I think you're saying 1971. Because if it's 19,971, then that would be a time traveler. But I think it's 1971. Okay. Need to clean? What do you think? Okay? Yeah? This used to be white, by the way. I think so. I think this used to be white. I think it was white, green, and yellow. So this was the white. Okay? So I would say this needs to be cleaned. I would say so. Oh, yeah. Listen to the motor as I turn it by hand. Okay. We're already We're already seeing it. All right. If I was giving out prizes for who can guess it, I would say that Wheats. You're gonna have to help me with that because I don't want to butcher anyone's name. Weetz. Got it right. 1997, not 1971. Oh, okay. 1997. Is that an exclamation point? Oh, dude, see what happened when you wear glasses? That's an exclamation point. My bad, man. Yo. Trust me, I wish I could do this without my glasses on because I look, the glasses, I prefer me without the glasses. I prefer me without the glasses. But I gotta have them on, man. I just had to accept the reality of Don't mean I have to like it. Just mean that it is what it is. Oh, that reminds me of this guy, the professor I was listening to, that I was like, dude, I don't know what you're talking about, bro. You went off a steep, but I recognize his clothes, and I wanted to make it a part of the show today, because this guy was slick about it, man. And it's not that I have I have my own beliefs in that stuff, but that's not what this is about. It's not about my personal beliefs when it comes to this, right? It has everything to do with the clothes. And I'm watching this guy do a sales job, and I'm like, wow, dude, did anyone see that? Did anybody see that, man? Did anybody see that? Oh my God. Let me see if I can pull it up. Hold on. And I'll open this motor while you guys hear the close, okay? See if you can hear the close. Hold on.
It was the dominant belief that if you were born a woman, you were going to be a wife and a mother. And if you weren't, you were doing something unnatural, right? If you were black, you could never be the head of a business or a president, right? You could never do math, whatever. If you were white, you should do all those things, right? Everybody's destiny was determined at birth. And everyone believed that. Most people believed that. Okay. So postmodernists came along and said, guess what? You know what we found looking at history? Here's what I said. I just gave you the whole postmodern argument right there. We looked at history and we saw, first of all, that all these categories have changed over time, which tells us that they're just inventions. They're just inventions. They get reinvented all the time. Okay?
Well, let me see if you can get to see this guy.
And second of all, they serve the purposes of ruling elites because they get to put people in their boxes and control them more easily. Right? Oh, those people over there, those are black. Therefore, they should be our slaves. So it's okay for us to have them as slaves. Those women over there, we don't want them, working for NASA. So we will have a rule against women working for NASA, whatever it is, right? So postmodernists said, none of this is biological, none of this is inevitable. You are now free to do what you want as an individual. It was a liberating moment. It has become the dominant way of thinking in academia. And I have to say, in my view, it is the supreme achievement of academics ever.
That's it?
That's it. But it's huge, huge. So if you think about it, look how the world has changed, particularly in the United States since then, right? We no longer generally have those ideas, at least we don't operate as such. So black people are allowed, mostly, into places they weren't before. Women are allowed, very much so, into places they weren't allowed before. The whole world has changed, and I think principally from that idea. So that doesn't mean, now the problem is that these social justice warriors, so-called, on campuses, have used some of that language and taken a shit on it. So the trans movement, for instance, right, that started from postmodernism. That whole idea, right, is that, if you were born with a penis, you're a man and you should do X, Y, and Z with your life, right? The trans movement needed postmodernism to make that intervention and say, no, that's not true, right? You can actually be a woman because woman is an invention, it's a social construct. What much of the trans movement now is doing, which makes me so sad, is that they're saying that I am biologically, essentially, naturally, in my core, a woman. No, no one is. No one is. You can't. The whole point of this movement used to be that you get to choose your gender or choose not to be your gender. You get to move around. Your destiny is not determined for you. What a lot of the trans movement now is doing is a good word, reifying. They're making these ideas, these abstractions real again. They're making these claims that are similar to Sam Harris's claims and to old racist claims and to old sexist claims that if you're born a particular way biologically, this is who you are. Right? Because you've heard a lot of trans people say this, right? I was born a woman. That's what they often say.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm saying is, no one was born anything.
Yeah, but you're losing me in a huge way.
Why?
You don't think that some women are born women and you don't think you're born a man?
No.
What are you born?
Okay.
When are you a man?
All right.
For all sorts of reasons.
For all sorts of reasons. None of them?
Okay, now that's the close. That's the close, right? And it's not, forget about what you believe in and all this stuff for a second. I'm talking about closing. What he just did was and I want you to think about students who are not used to dealing with being closed by salespeople or by speakers or by politicians. So these students are not equipped to, well, not all of them, some of them are, but a lot of them are easily convinced. How's that? And easily directed, right? But what he did was combine, this is how they used to view black people and how they used to view women and all the other stuff based on previous ways of thinking. And then he slid in that he said, well, the guys, the trans women, I guess, then he said, they're doing it wrong, right? They're claiming to be women, but no, they're doing it wrong. So all those things that he did was have you agree, right? In other words, yeah, so people who agree with that will say, yeah, right, they claim to be women. Yeah, right, women, I can't believe they used to have women do it. Yeah, right, yeah, black people, I can't believe they used to have black people. And he says, yeah, right, so nobody's born nothing. He slid it in there. He said, well, we're not born nothing. He said, you're not born a man. No, no one is. And that's the close. People close you like that. Agree. And then, boom, if you agree with these things, this must be true then. If you agree with these three things here, this thing I'm now going to add to it must be true. And it's like, nah, those two things don't apply the same way, dude. Doesn't mean, hey, be who you want to be, do what you want to do. But if you're trying to sell me on this, I'm listening to the close. So apparently this guy didn't buy it either. Rogan didn't buy it either. He said, wait, time out. What are you talking about, right? Hold on, let me see how you finish up. Hold on, let me see.
Well,
we just decided.
None of them being the XY chromosome, none of them being you have testicles, none of them being you have a penis, none of them being the fact that you generally gravitate towards male activities like boxing, kickboxing, aggressive things.
We just went through this whole thing.
No, you didn't.
Joel Romero and Andy Dick.
Yeah, but
Why are they both men?
But you're a man.
Yeah.
Right? We're not talking about the broad spectrum of masculine behavior. We're talking about no one is born a man. You're not born a man. I'm not born a man.
I'm saying that
I think we're getting silly.
Hold on here. I think it's the category of man becomes meaningless.
Does it?
Yeah, we just did this, man.
No, we didn't. Why we didn't do
Joel
this?
Romero and Andy Dick are both
It's a broad category. Lines
so
get blurry
broad.
at the ends of the spectrum, and I think they cross over. The male-female lines do cross over when you get to that Kenyan runner and Andy Dick.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. It's
Yeah.
so broad that it becomes, to me, pretty damn meaningless.
Well, the number.
Can you imagine the amount of people that we listen to that do this, they do this in this technique? They do this, right? They do this. And they do it with, they purposely do it with, let's say immigration, right? Right, you have immigrants, you have migrants, and you have, however you want to put it, undocumented or illegal immigrants. Those are three different categories. Yes, they're all people from abroad, but they're different categories. So when you now assume they're one category, you're playing on you're playing on them. Their emotion is these people are just coming here for, that idea. I mean, I came here, right, for an opportunity, but you conflate it on purpose. It's a conflation on purpose. That's like, what I'm saying? It's like, so just recognize the clothes. That's all I'm saying, is recognize the clothes when you're being clothed. You can decide to buy it. You can decide to agree. You can decide to buy the product. You can decide to buy the idea. But know when you're being clothed, when you're being convinced of something. At least pay attention to that. I'm being convinced of this thing, right? Do I want to buy it or not? And I don't know if you can control what sells you either, because sometimes people can get convinced of things, sounds logical, sounds reasonable, and you're just sold on it. And unfortunately, a lot of people get sold on things because they use this technique. They agree. It's a technique, guys. Agree. I'm gonna slide this in. Therefore, this is true, right? Or emotion. Therefore, this is true based on your emotion about this thing. It's the same technique, and if you pay attention to it, you can either learn to use it, I guess, or you can just be aware when it's being used on you. Look at this. This fan blade is wobbly, and this may have caused the bearings. I have balls here. I got balls in this thing. I got balls. Look. Come on. You can't show yourself? Damn it. 1, 2. So the bearing is definitely messed up, right? But the fan blade is also. So even if you repair the bearing, oh my God, can I just get this thing in the middle of the palm of my hand already? Okay, these are the bearings just came out at the bottom here. So even if you replace the bearings, you have a warped fan, and that can also create friction and heat and all that other stuff that the gentleman had a question on before. Okay, so this motor, to me, I wouldn't go the extra effort to take this piece off and try to replace this fan, and then go and then try to replace the bearings, and then clean the commutator, to go through all of that, and probably have to replace these carbon brushes too. Probably just be a good idea to do it, unless they're really just fully not damaged and they're just in their full, so yeah, this is I just have to get a different motor in this thing. Okay, now whether or not I can find this motor or not is a whole nother deal. Now if you're really adventurous and you're just doing this as a hobby, then yeah, break it open, go for it, have some fun with it. But to go through all of that and then charge somebody a ridiculous amount of money for, not ridiculous, because the more money the better, right? But still, it can come back to haunt me. Or I can just give them the option, say, look, man, this is what I'm going to have to do. This is probably what it's going to cost. Do you want me to do it? Right? Because some people would just buy another cleaning system for what you would have to do. So I guess I'll check to see if this motor is still around or even something similar. Okay, let me see how many leads I got going on here. Okay, I got two neutral wires coming out of it. I got another lead. This one is connected to a breaker. What do you call that? I'm sorry, a fuse. And look like the other one's going to the light in the circuit board, right? Yep, the circuit board. Now, I'm gonna tell you about this sensor thing here, all right? I'm gonna tell you about the sensor thing. This is also a sales pitch, all right? And I said that it works, but not the way you think it works. Okay, let me see, make sure. Let me make sure I log back in with you guys so I can see who's saying what's up. All right, give me a second, guys. But that was the close. That was part of the close, guys. All right, hold on. Shark, da 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 da. All right, we went all hard floors, so we kind of easy job. Yeah, hard floors are great, man. I think I'm gonna do that also, David. I'm gonna go with all hard floors. Wood on the downstairs too. The Shark vacuum is easy to use, like the suction control. Yeah, the suction control. Yeah. You know what? I'm okay with like the because I was cleaning with my uncle's this weekend. My uncle's Dyson. Those are great for hard floors. You know, so people go across a hard floor, sweep it up 1, 2, 3. You don't need a deep cleaner for hard floor stuff. So the Dyson with the felt brush and all that, those are great. Sharks can work great on that too. I got a Shark cordless. Do I still have it? I have a Shark cordless here. Great for hard floors also. So I'm gonna switch to hard floors, man. The steps I'm still considering. I may just put Berber on the steps instead of the carpeting I have right now. But I'm definitely switching to hard floors, bro. Absolutely. Okay. I just have to figure out what kind of flooring I really want to put there. I did a home project where I put epoxy on my bathroom downstairs, the floor, and I put like blue and white and stuff like that. So it kind of looked like water on the floor, you know. That was a nice little art project. It looks like water on the floor. So I'm in the mode, and I want to go to the hard floors for the living room. You know, dining and kitchen is already hard. There's already hard floors. But yeah, I'm done looking at that carpet downstairs. I'm done looking at it. So yeah, Shark. You know, there's certain vacuums that are just good for certain things. Okay. This is good for certain things. All right. You know. So yeah. So with that guy, whether or not you guys believe whatever he says, that's fine. I mean, just know that you're being convinced of something, and it's okay if people try to convince you. That's the deal. That's the relationship we're having. I'm trying to convince you to go with me to the store, and I need company. I'm trying to convince you to be, as my son, I'm trying to convince them to be good, moral citizens. You know, don't lie and cheat and steal from people. You know, be a trustworthy person so people can count on you, and then your word would be solid. That's very important. I'm trying to teach that to my 16-year-old right now. So I'm trying to convince him, and then he's being convinced by a lot of these folks that like, you know, there's no truth or something like that. And so, you know, the moral scissors, whatever you feel, whatever you want to do. And I'm like, dude, no, it doesn't work like that, bro. Doesn't work like that, man. You can't lie and steal and cheat from people and expect them to continue to back you, man. It's not the way it works, bro. Okay? It's not the way it works. But he is definitely working on his sales skills, you know, but I see him coming, you know, and I watch him, I see him coming. I'm like, dude, you really think you got me, right? and I would walk his sales stuff back to him. I said, look, this one, I'm gonna tell you when I saw you coming, right? And you come over by me, and you go like, and you start putting your head like that. You're like, hey, Dad, you know, I mean, wouldn't it be a good idea if I was if I got to do a lot more, you know, with you know, this and that, and he set me up, right? And I'm seeing him set me up. Yeah, so yeah, me and my friends, right? We're gonna it's like, dude, I saw you coming already, man. No. The answer is no. I already told you no yesterday. I'm telling you no again today. You know, so you know, it's fine. You know, you know, we're supposed. I think we're supposed to practice those skills. We want to convince our you know, people to deliver good work for our customers. It's a sales job all the time. You got to keep trying to sell people. But a lot of people do mix up these one idea, one concept don't really necessarily lead to this one. This one can be all by itself, and I can reject the comparison between the two and say, nah, those two things don't work the same way. No, not what you think. No. Not the same way. All right. I can reject it. You can accept it if you want, and that's where we're free to do that. We're free to do that, and you have to at least recognize whether or not you're being sold. That's all I'm saying. Is know when you're being convinced of something, and then if you accept it, you accept it, man. If you're sold, you're sold. Okay. But so often we are sold and we don't realize it. We got sent down a path and we don't realize that we got sent down a path, and we don't even know how we got there, and we don't know how the thought got into our head and how it put its roots down. We have no clue how we got there, man, and that's got to be a very scary, sad place for a lot of people. It's like, wow, I can't believe I did this. How did I treat my family like this? I just got rid of all my family. I just got rid of my friends. Because they didn't want to eat Cheerios. Holy cow! Who taught me into doing this shit? Oh shit! How did I get here? How did I get here? All right. So that's that. Okay. I'm gonna put a different motor in that one. All right. Hey, you. Shark. I think I have one more shark. Being that we're talking about shark, I got one more shark to look at. So let me look at that shark with you guys here, and let's see what's wrong with this shark. The shark yesterday, I think the motor, it sound like what? Oh my God, his name Wheats. It sound the same thing as the bearings. Let's see what's wrong with this shark, because I got a shark I got to work on. All right, guys, listen, I want to thank all you guys for passing through. I want to thank the ones who are hanging out. Thank our return, our homies. Appreciate it. And let's see if we can get this going. This is the last part of this thing. Okay, and let's see if this shark is as good as they say, right? Okay, give me a second. Let me see. Okay. All right. All right, so this is another one. These two are really the same color. They're the same color. Okay, the same color shark as yesterday. Okay. If you guys know me already, I'm a little bit. I didn't wipe down the Bissell. I mean the Hoover, but this one, yeah, I think I'm gonna wipe this one down a little bit before I mess with it. Okay. Now, if you guys have a question on the vacuum, let me know. All right. And what's your favorite vacuum, guys? What do you guys use? I think you guys know what I use at home. What do you guys use at the house? Okay. Let me know. All right, let's see what's wrong with this guy. Let's plug him in. All right. Yep. All right, let's plug him in and see what's happening with him. Okay. Let's see what's going on. But yeah, man, it's hard for me to watch movies sometimes without like seeing it, seeing the plot, seeing the closing, and whether or not, and I allow myself to be sold because I like everything with fantasy and superheroes and scary movies and dramas and comedies is okay if it's really funny, but I just hate lame comedies. It's just like I feel like a waste of time. But and I'm down with a lot. I watch a lot of foreign movies too. See what these guys are producing. But you can see some of them are so good you can't see it. But some, you get it. Pretty spiffy handheld vacuum. Two different sharks. Really? Ah, Brienne, what's up, girl? You got a little spiffy handheld vacuum, right? I wonder which one. Would it happen to be a Simplicity? Is that the? Does it happen to be a Simplicity? Brienne, hey, I'm glad to see you here today. You have a Sanitaire? Really? Okay. Hey, of course, Brienne, of course. It was my pleasure. It's my pleasure. If Listen, I'm just happy you keep coming back once in a while to kind of poke your head in here and say what's up, you know? So thanks. All right, so let's turn this on and see what it sounds like. All right, because we're going to be wrapping up soon. But thanks for hanging in. Thanks for coming in. Let's see what we got. The noise is coming from here. I don't know if it makes its way through there. Let me see if I could turn off the brush. Okay, so you don't hear it, right? I'm gonna recline it back. See if you hear it. All right, so let's find out what this might be. Okay. All right. You know what? I don't want to have this whole thing on here. So let's release the whole thing. What do you say? All right. What do I push? This? Come on. Nope. Well, I'm not strong enough. Is that the idea? The dirt cup release. This is the liftoff. Is it broken too? Shite. Okay. All right, let's try it this way then. Coño. Oh, sorry. My wife don't like when I say that stuff. It's just, I'm sorry guys, it just slips out. Oh, it was put on wrong in the first place, damn it. Oh my gosh, look. It's not even hooked up at the bottom. Look at that. So I'm gonna have to kind of, golly, man. Let me see if do I have to push it down? Let me put this on the ground. Sorry guys. Push down to pull up. Oh my gosh. Yep. Woo! Got it out. Yeah, sometimes that's how it comes, guys. All right, let's see what we got. Okay. Oh! Don't go nowhere. All right. Let's see if you guys like this this session. I got this little success book that I'm gonna try to read one every day. That I had this since I was in my 20s, by H. Jackson Brown Jr. Life's Little Treasure Book of Unsuccess. All right, let's see what we got. Okay, there are people who will always come up with reasons why they can't do what you want to do. Ignore them. There are people that will always come up with reasons why you can't do what you want to do. Ignore them. Now, you tell this to a kid, he may want to ignore his parents. Well, I want to do what I want to do, so I'm going to ignore you. Obviously, they're talking about accomplishing your goals and reaching for something greater than where you are now. Not following the rules that's not one of them. But then again, I don't know, man. Think about it. I know it's a little bit different, but Netflix went to Blockbuster and a couple of the guys to try to sell the idea, and they all rejected. Said, man, no, the way it's been working. You know, people like going to the movies. I mean, going to the, grabbing the cassette tapes, DVDs, and that is a DVD. VHS, right? The VHS, because and people like meeting each other in the stores. So they rejected the idea. Dyson went to Hoover and the other guys to try to sell his idea to them, and they rejected it. I think that's what they're talking about. That kind of accomplishment, not whether you should clean your room or whether you should come home, before curfew. But this can be used anyway, if you think about it, right? A little kid get a hold of this and he'd say, yeah, Ma, You know, you want to stop me from doing what I want to do. I'm gonna ignore you. I think it's people who are being negative about your ability to achieve, okay, about your ability to succeed in something, your ability to win. I don't think it has to do with, you know, doing good, because a lot of us want to do some things like you want to go to work and just sit there on your ass all day. You tell your boss you're trying to stop me from doing what I want to do. I'm gonna ignore you. You won't have a job, okay? So usually ahead on stuff like that. Let's see, man. Where is this noise coming from with this? Ooh, look how simple this find was. Look how simple this find was. Look at this. Look what we got picked up here. Do you think that'll help make a noise? Do you think that will make a noise? Yep. Yep, I think that would make a noise. No, it's a nail. Okay, this is what we found. A nail. Can you see it? Yeah, you can't see it. All right. Wow. All right. Guy asks, how much you gonna charge for that, Wayne? You know what you're paying for? You're paying for my knowledge and my abilities to solve the problem. You're not paying for how long it took me to get there. No, I'm not gonna kill the people on this one, of course not. But there is a regular maintenance charge, you know. I still have to do other things. But let's get this out of here. All right, guys. I think that's probably gonna wrap it up. Oh, there was one more on the page. I'm sorry. There are two on the page, so there's two. You can't even see. There's two on the page. Okay. The last one on the page. Well, actually, this was really the first one. Commit yourself to quality. I like that. So I'll pull out one every day. Have fun with you guys. Commit yourself to quality. I like that. That's positive. I need to follow that more. You know, like sometimes you think you're on it and someone else show you a level of quality that you didn't even think was possible. You know, that's why it's good to hang around people who are better than you in certain things, because they can step your game up, you know. They can step your game up. You know, when you get rid of the jealousies and all the other crap, you can really learn from a lot of folks who are very good, and even in different industries too, because they may do something in another industry that's different from yours, but the way they do it can inspire you to be better at what you do. You know, like it's not the same, but they're just doing it better, man. It's like, damn, you guys do it way better. Hey, all right, Rudy. Hugh. It's a dying trade. You're right, man. Look, Hugh. A guy came in here in the shop Saturday. No, not Saturday. It was before Saturday because I was closed Saturday. Friday. Well, no, the store wasn't closed. I just wasn't. I wasn't here Saturday. But he came in the shop and he was like, "All right, you know what I'm doing right now, guys? I'm cleaning this thing. I didn't want to take the brush out, and I wanted to, so I sprayed on the inside of here, and I'm just running a towel through it. And all I'm doing is just turning the brush, so the brush will grab the towel and bring it through. See this here? And it helps me to clean underneath here a little better. I'm gonna do it one more time. Now, if you want to do it right, you get a brush and you take the whole brush out, you take all the screws out, and then you scrub it, and that's the right way if you want to do it all the way. It's not that bad for me to have to do that, so I'm just going to spray it, okay? And then I'm going to stick the towel in, and then I'm going to turn it, and it'll just, and clean it on the way through it, okay? But the guy did say that. He said that, he says, man, they don't have you guys around anymore. You know, you may run into a few, there's an appliance place in town that refurbish refrigerators and Rock's Appliance. We send guys over there. They send guys over here. There's a shoe repair guy in Main Street in town. Okay. I'm the only guy in town right now. There was a guy in town here. Electrolux was the last guy. There was a Kirby. There's a Kirby distributor in town though, but he's, you know, they're sales office. But yeah, you're right. It's a dying thing, and it's on its way out. I'm not afraid to say that it's on its way out, man. We'll have AI that will that will be able to diagnose its own. It won't just give you error anymore. It will probably diagnose the problem. Contact headquarters or whatever, like some of those cars, or whatever, and or they'll get us all convinced to just keep replacing machines. They'll convince us to replace them, like they've done with cell phones, and people would just not be interested in repairing anymore, and only us crazy folks would be into it. It'll be a niche, like it. Well, it already is in a way. But you're right. It is a dying. It is what it is. But think about it. I draw portraits. Isn't that the ultimate dying thing? Because to get pictures, what do people do? They cell phone, camera phone, Expo might have like 12,000 pictures on their phone. So people, they're not paying to sit down and get portraits like the kings used to do back in the noblemen used to do back in the days. The rich families and all that stuff will get portraits done of them, and some still do, but it's not a consumable thing, you know. So not too many people do that. So I'm in two industries. That's why I need you guys to support the channel. How's that one? All right, folks. So let's hook it back up. If this thing stopped making noise, I think I found the problem, and then we're going to call it for the day. And I want to thank you all for coming. Don't forget, we are doing another giveaway. I'm getting ready to do a cornhole charity thing later this month. All right. Whoa, time out. There's another thing here. Golly, man. Is it another thing? Oh no, it's a little compartment. All right. I'm gonna be getting ready to do that. You know, so I'm excited about that. I'm pretty decent at cornhole. I would say I'm decent. You know, I think once I get my first 4 bags thrown, I think I have by that time I think I have the rhythm. About 4. Were you laughing? What? It needs more than that? 10? Okay, so when I get 10 bags in, I got my rhythm. And I have to be on the right of the cornhole. If I'm on the right, is it the right? Yeah. If I'm on the right, because I tend to throw it to the left. I tend to throw it a little bit to the left. So if I'm on the right of the cornhole and I lead with my left foot is on near the line. That's my setup. Now some guys spin it. I've tried to spin and I tried just throwing it a little bit higher than normal. So both ways work for me. So I'm getting ready to get down with that in town. It's a little fundraiser, the local Rotary in Monroe. And I'm gonna try to win some prize money. All right, let's plug this in, folks. All right, David. Oh yeah, you know what I thought I did, David, and thanks for asking that question about the donation link. Let me see if I can find it again. I put it in the description of the video, but I'm gonna put it in the chat right now, David, because you are teaching me how to be consistent. I appreciate it. I appreciate it, David. Thank you very much, sir. Let me put the donation in the description. and let's plug this machine in, and let's see. Let's see my links. Where are my links at? All right, link 1. Okay. Yep. I think this is it. Yep, this is it. Copy. Copy. All right. I am going to put it right in the live chat. David is a man. Hey guys, look. One thing you have to realize, you're not going to agree with everything I say on this channel, and that's perfectly okay. Right? And we can still be cool. And we're not supposed to be enemies if we don't agree. That's ridiculous. I don't know what these people are doing today. So there are going to be some things I might say, or some viewpoints I may have that you're like, I don't know, Wayne. I don't know about that one. And it's okay, right? It's fine. Like because you're gonna like a truck I don't like. You're gonna like to drive a car I don't like. You're gonna think raising kids a certain way that I may not raise the kids. But to be, you know what I mean? To be like, well, shoot, you don't think like me. Well, screw you, man. That's a weird place for us to be in this country right now. So, and we are so far apart when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, that's weird, man. That's a weird place because what you do, you we're supposed to be practicing these same skills, the same. I'm gonna try to convince you, and you try to convince me. That's what we do, man. That's what we do. Okay, and if let's say you might win a debate if you're my wife because I have a ulterior motive to give in on this one. I'm like, you know what? All right, honey. All right, let's do it your way. You know, because you guys don't agree on every single thing, right? But if you're so emotionally charged, man, that if you don't agree with the way I see the world, you're my enemy. Holy cow. That is crazy. That is crazy, crazy, crazy. So anyway, here we go, folks. So yeah, so if you don't agree with everything, guys, man, stay positive, man. I'm a good guy. I'm sure you guys are good people. You know, we could still hang out for a few minutes during the day, and I appreciate everyone that come back, okay? All right? Even if I say some stupid stuff once in a while, okay? All right, so here we go. Let's turn this on and let's see if that noise come back. All right. All right. All we got to do is wipe this guy down. All right. Check the filters. Make sure the filters are good. If they're not, we have to replace them. You know, stuff like that. Clean up the rest of it. And this guy can go back. This is good to go. All right. So thanks for hanging out with me today, folks. You guys are the best. What did Brianne have to say? What do you have to say, girl? Brianne says, I don't ask that people agree or understand how I feel. I only ask that they respect that I do. Can I pin that somewhere? Okay, wait, hold on. Hold on. Can I pin it? I'm gonna pin this. I just pinned it to the top, Brianne. That sums up my entire show today. That sums up my entire show. It's been your lifelong motto for a long time. Yes, that's it. That's just how I see it. And that's it, man. It doesn't mean that you're bad. It doesn't mean I'm bad, man. I just see it that way. Now, if you can convince me to see it another way, I'm open. My mind is totally open to be convinced. I thought one way up to a certain point. I'll give you a little secret and we're done. We're signing off. But I'll leave you with this. And some people have heard it, but whatever. So I honestly, I saw the world one way. Because I was indoctrinated in a family, because that's what it is. You learn from your family. They teach you how to see the world. And then I started working in sales. And I realized that we kind of see things differently. Like some of the folks that I know, they blame other people for them not succeeding or something like that. And then when I got into sales, they taught me that it's on me. It's on my grit, my attitude, my networking skills, my ability to get people to say yes, right? And I have to control that, right? If I decide not to go to work today, if at the end of the week I don't have the amount of sales that I wanted, I decided not to go to work today. Okay. If I didn't check the oil in my car and my car gave me problems and it messed up my sales flow for the day because the car needs to go in the shop, I decided not to take the car into the shop because I was too busy trying to make money and I didn't want to take the car to the shop. So I've learned to take it on, right? So I realized I didn't think like these guys, okay? And then as later on in life we start getting into, you saw more social things start to seep into your life and social fights and ways people look at things. And then you realize that, holy cow, how is it that an entire group of people are constantly blaming someone else for their faults? We all do it, right? In life, period. We all do it, but to this extent. And then I started to notice that there were certain politicians, pundits, actors that are stoking this attitude. And I was like, if this was in sales, man, this person would not have a job if you keep telling the sales team that it's the customer's fault why they're not selling. It's the reason why you're not succeeding today is because of the previous job that you had and the fact that the company back in the day, the company never used to and I'm like, wow, what are you doing? What are you doing? So I realized, and then when I started examining that, I was like, holy cow, man, I don't think like you guys. I never did. I just thought I had to. And I realized that the way I performed in my life, my wife, the way we communicate, the way we look at problems, the way we look at, donating to people, the way we look at donating our time, the way we look at this stuff is just like not the same. It's like, okay, doesn't mean I hate you. I just realized I don't think like that. And it's okay. So that's how I came to where I'm at. I was holding out. I wasn't giving too much. I was like trying to sew this message together without getting it to pointing the fingers at different parties and shit. But I think most of you guys probably know where I'm at. But that's what I'm saying is that that's what I reject, man. I reject this kind of constant thing because it doesn't help the person. It don't help the people at all. It keeps them very weak and constantly blaming other people for their lack of initiative, for their lack of success, for behavior reasons, for behavior, all that stuff, man. It's just like, it's not productive. That's all. It's just not productive. So it's not going to help me. So that's what I said earlier. Which attitude is best for me to solve this problem? Is it best for me to continue to blame the situation and blame people? Is it going to help me to keep talking about woe is me, it's not help? Or is it going to be better if I'm positive about it? I can get this done. I can solve this problem. Let's get it done. If I can't solve it, let me find someone that can help me. Let me get it done. If this is my goal, is to get out of this situation, what do I do? 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 If my mind is on that, okay, I can probably learn how I got here. Maybe I can reflect on that. But to live there, I can't solve the problem if I live in the problem. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got here, man. And Brianne, that's why I had to pin that to the top, because you're perfect for that. All right. And we're gonna leave everybody with this. Brianne is telling us this. Brianne says, so you have to learn to forgive yourself for not knowing what you didn't know before you knew you didn't know it. Coño, girl, where are you getting these from? I love this. I love that. You're right. You're right. You're right. The veil has been lifted, right? The veil has been lifted, okay? And now you can see better, Or You change your glasses. The tint you have on your glasses is different. Now you see the world differently. That's all it is. And you're like, oh wow, I didn't know that. That's all. All right. But anyway, you guys are the best. I think I got the best audience in the world. The ones who stick around, the ones who pass through, you guys are cool too. But the ones who stick around are the best. All right. That's you, David. That's you, Brianne, and anyone else who didn't say hi. Okay. So the donation link is in the chat. It's in the description. And Brianne, thanks for hanging in there with me. Thanks for coming back. You guys are positive. And don't forget, guys, I'm gonna have another giveaway soon. And I already told you what it is. It's the steamer. It's the Bissell Big Green little compact steamer, the little compact steamer. I am going to be putting that up. It retails for about what, $229, right? $229, something like that. And I will be giving that away before the year is up. All right. Okay, Brianne, stay positive. David, stay cool. And I'll catch you later. All right. I'm doing it right. Yeah. Let's see what I got.